Thank you very much. I'm really glad to be here. Today, I'm going to talk about pair programming with AI, my personal experience, and I found myself that sometimes I refer to AI as he. I don't know why. In my imagination, it is a guy, and I'm trying to think about it as a junior developer. It's easier for me to create, construct new prompts for it to get a better results. But who is this strange guy on stage? My name is Mykola. I am a development team lead at Great Tech. And from this wall of text, the most important thing that I'm passionate about software development. I really like when software development achieves goals and satisfies the customer. About 8 months ago, I had a very huge backlog of merge requests that I need to review. I had lots of meetings, groomings, etc., and I became a bottleneck for our project to move forward. I've started to look for help. As you know, everybody's talking about AI and that it's replaced team leaders, developers, all over the place. So I've decided, why not? You need to know your enemy in the face. I've get an AI and ask him review my code, review code of my colleagues. Help me to review more faster without losing quality. And what do you know? No luck. Who of you, please raise the hand, who also had a bad experience with AI when he or it produces something that not satisfy your requirements? Oh, I see some hands, so I'm not alone. And during this session, I was strictly disappointed. Why such a powerful tool doesn't help me? But during the sessions, I found myself very curious how AI can understand my command line tools to get difference between files from GitLab. I noticed that he usually executes --help to get the set of commands with description, and he understands it. That got me very curious, and I start thinking, maybe I'm doing something wrong, and I need to go deeper. During my research and countless tries, I found that most important thing with AI is the context. The main problem that model itself is immutable. You can't train an old dog with the new tricks. The only way when model learns something is when they train a newer version. So basically, all we can work with is context. And there are some strategies I found to how to improve my results with context. Using small, focused sessions to implementing a small set of features guided and controlled by me usually really very helps me. Modern AI providers can give you up to 1 million tokens for the context. But a simple question, what do you think about Solid, can produce up to 2,200 tokens in your context. Our enterprise application contains 250,000 lines of code. Putting it in the context to give a broader view of our application is nearly impossible right now. So focusing on small feature, implementing it directly where you need it, will greatly improve your results. Define a clear boundaries. AI can search through your code by itself, executing grep or other different tools. But defining that focus on this file, you can also get from here information and from here information. Do not use any code except this folder. Will greatly improve your results, and more will keep your context clean. During your sessions, you might notice that after first optimization of context, when he gets to the maximum of the context, he tries to summarize the results of your session into new context. After first summarization, you will get a significantly worse results, because he loses some part of what you're talking about with him. Yeah, oh, okay. Progressive disclosure. AI, as a human, needs context to understand what you want from him. It's easier to start from the high ground, briefly explain your global architecture of the application, deep dive into the module, describe what this current module is working with, describe the class, describe the function, and then explain what you want to achieve, what new functionality you would like to implement, or what bug you would like to fix. Rule sets are very helpful. I've imagined it like, imagine for yourself, you meeting someone new you never know. How helpful would it be if you, just before starting conversation, you would say to him, I'm not interested in astrology. I don't like cats. I would like to talk about software development and preferably C#. How much better conversation would you have? The same thing with rule sets for AI. Specifying your favorite naming convention. Specifying the most important for you patterns of development. Specifying how you would like to put files, in what folders, how they should be named, is very helpful to achieving more expected result versus gibberish. After you develop something, you need to debug it, usually. And the most useful things, again, like with human, are basically describing unexpected behavior clearly, what you're experiencing, how you get it, etc., etc. Share error message with stack trace, and explain the expected versus actual behavior. As you may notice, 3 first blocks, it's basically a bug ticket. Properly filled bug ticket explains AI enough to fix this problem. Then I've noticed that if you write code with AI, you need to tell him that you updated your code, to update it in the context. And I found it's not very useful. I found that being a supervisor, an architect, and propose solution, and allow AI to implement them much more useful and produce greater results. What AI does well, it's constant and consistent naming convention. You mentioned once, I use Pascal case, and it will use it everywhere for every variable, naming, etc., etc. Proper exception handling if you told him that I want to retry HTTP request on several exceptions and throw this exception in this case, mute exception in this case, it will handle it perfectly. Comprehensive documentation is the breeze. If you name reasonably understandable naming with your classes, functions, and properties, it can understand what's the meaning behind this class and generate you proper good documentation. Swagger files, open API is very good, generated by AI. Follow established patterns is also a benefit of AI. I think it's also like with human, when you're giving a task for a human and saying that there is an example, how we did it previously, you can take a look at here. It's easier for developer to do the same thing. With AI, the same. If you provide enough examples how you would like to receive a result, it will make it much more compatible with what you expect. Where we need human review, it's business logic. AI can handle with algorithms and other things, but only you knew how you would expect your product to behave in production. What business logic is required for you, only you know. So explaining and controlling the business logic behind the applications that AI is producing, it's your responsibility. Security implications. As I mentioned, AI gains new knowledge only when we train a new model. So recent flaws, security flaws, could be not known for the specific AI. You need to just know about it. Performance considerations, especially when you use some kind of frameworks or ORM models, it generates a good code, but it's not always pretty performative. I would say if you provide the whole DDL of the database to the AI, it will provide a good enough ORM code, but again, it's a trade-off with context. You don't really want to pollute your context with the whole DDL of the database and the relationships and the other things. So keep it in mind. And architectural decisions. During my coding sessions, I found that AI usually produce me one large file with all functions and classes in one file. I don't really like it, and I constantly explain him that I would like to separate my business logic from the data model, from representation, all this I would like to have in different libraries, etc., etc. So these kind of decisions always on your side. AI will produce it. It will work, probably. But will it be readable and maintainable? It's a question. A bit of numbers. Let's take a regular developer with $2,000 per month wage. It will be around $12 per hour. Modern AI platforms, usually for the lowest tier, pricing about $20, $25 per month. If you use AI with this wage for 30 minutes in a day to increase your productivity for 30 minutes a day, it will give you a 10-hour economy per month. That's around $120. Of course, it's not really comparison because you have to pay for this. But if you do more with AI, you can give an example for your employee and for employer and ask him for a raise or at least a compensation for the AI price. Personal examples. We had in production a very bad situation when our RabbitMQ instance went down. for unknown reasons. And we are very tightly integrated with RabbitMQ. It has basically stopped our application. So we decided that we need to bring up a new instance of RabbitMQ and switch to it. But old RabbitMQ had messages that needs to be transferred. It's easy to do when you do it inside one cluster, but between two different clusters, there is no tool for it. While we are on the call, deciding what we're gonna do and waiting for our DevOps team to brought up a new RabbitMQ instance, I've decided that I will ask an AI agent to code me a simple application to bring messages from one RabbitMQ to another one. In 1 hour, application was designed with tests, tested our QA team, and we mitigated our risk greatly with this application. We reduced our downtime for, I think, 45 minutes, and it was very useful. Yes, I've tested 2 POC with AI, one of which was, can we get rid of RabbitMQ and create something like RabbitMQ based on Kafka? Kafka doesn't have delayed messages. Can we do something with it? We tested with AI agent, and it's possible. I've built 3 libraries, mostly for my personal use, and 1 pet project with it. All they are available on my GitHub account, but I don't remember are they private or public. And all this while I'm still managing my primary work duties. I didn't hurt my team with reducing my productivity as a team leader to go into development. It was done in background. All I do is managing the context of the AI agent and managing his decisions. Thank you very much.